Namaste yogis, welcome into practice. Welcome into today's practice in a way that is going to hopefully support you in whatever you need and however you found your way up to the practice. I hope that it serves you well. Kat is here today. She's going to be our visual inspiration, which means she's going to be doing the practice as I teach and guide you through it. Your job, as always, is to find the rhythm of this practice that works for you, knowing that we are going to have a necessary need to have a little bit of focus, a little bit of effort, and to make sure that we have the right tools to support us along the way. Now, if I haven't said it already, you will need 1 or 2 blocks in practice. Kat, if you grab 2 blocks for yourself, I want to make sure you have the right tools. If you don't, use whatever you have around you that can serve the purpose. Otherwise, when we get to the postures like a half moon where you might need a block, you might just have to put a little bit more effort to hold yourself up or to bend your knees and bring yourself closer to the floor. But when we get there, we will get there. But today we're going to move through the motions of what I would consider maybe interesting progressions or different transitions. And I want you to really look at how the weight shifts in the body, how we move through motion with a little bit more stability. And so if I was to give this practice a name or a focus, I want you to think about this practice as finding steadiness through motion, right? Steadiness through action or steadiness through transition. And that's how I want you to think about it, as opposed to just moving from a posture and then letting it all go to the next posture. And that can be a really interesting way to be steady even as you're moving, as opposed to just finding the steadiness when you get into your practice or into the posture itself. The rest of it we'll see as we go, and we'll figure it out when we get there. But if you're ready to begin, I'd like you to find yourself in a version of child's pose that feels comfortable and suitable for you today. And I'd like it to be in a version that helps support you. And the best way to do that and figure that out is to assess for yourself, where can I put this posture in a way that's helpful? Do I need my knees to be a little bit wider, or do I want my knees a little bit more narrow? And remember, both of these postures, while they serve the functional value of getting you down to the floor and putting you into a state of rest, ultimately what we're looking at is ensuring that we're using the postures purposefully. If the knees are wider today, it's because the hips can have a little bit more space or flex. If we're putting the knees together, the lower back can get long. And at the same time, depending how you want to rest your arms on the floor, I want you to look at how we can create space. So think about that now, even from the get-go. How can we put a little bit of space into the body? And first things first, can you do that in the breath? Can you breathe all the way in? Nice, full breath. And then open the mouth and exhale. And just put a little bit of space into the rhythm of your breathing pattern. Inhale. And then exhale. And then start to put a little intention behind that. Whether you want to switch on your Ujjayi, totally up to you. My preference these days is don't just do it for the sake of it. Do it because it's valuable or necessary for your practice today. Otherwise, you're just doing it a little bit without consideration. And so part of this has to be, how is this adding value to your practice today? Secondly, I want you to come onto the fingertips of your hands and walk your hands so far forward that your knees lift. That your elbows lift, and let your head land wherever it lands. Some of you will get back to the floor, others have not. And remember, if you do want to support this, you block the head if you feel like you're hanging out in the neck too long. Otherwise, what I like to do is keep walking the fingers so far forward that it slightly lifts the hips, and then drive your hips back down towards your heels. So it's almost like you're pushing away from your fingertips. Good, take a big breath in, and a long breath out. And then ride the inhale up to a tabletop, readjust your knees, and come straight into a cow on the first breath in. And then exhale, cat pose. Stay on the fingertips today, because what I want you to do is start to engage through effort in your first motions. So inhale as you expand and widen, and as you exhale, push from the fingertips, ground through the shoulders, arch through the spine. And I really need, keep going with your breath, I need the spine to move, not just the shoulders and the hips moving. Because what you're doing here is trying to undulate the spine, move the spine. Good. And as you come back through your cow pose, pause for a moment And as you exhale, come to a neutral tabletop. So it comes back to a Bharmanasana. On the fingertips and staying there for a moment. Now, what I want you to do is take the hands from the fingertips, and I want you to almost spread the fingers as wide as they go, and then place your palms back down to the floor. Now, in this shape, I want you to think protraction of the shoulder blades, even though they're not rounding. And as you inhale, I just want you to lift the heels of your hands off the floor, so they're kind of little palm push-ups. So inhale, the heels of the hands come up, and then exhale, put them back down. Keep your thumb and your pinky on the floor. So inhale, and then exhale. So this comes now, and keep moving in that flow. This starts to build our principles of effort and steadiness through the motion. Yes, you could do this very easily, or you could do this very purposefully. And I want you to think, inhale, protraction as the palms come off the ground. Exhale, retraction as the palms come down and the shoulder blades draw together. Inhale, and then exhale. Do 3, 4, or 5 more of those. And you should start to feel effort. You should start to feel as if it's making you have to do a little bit of work here. Good. And then as you finish this last 1 or 2 more rounds, I'd like you to simply sit yourself all the way up and sit back onto your heels. Kat's going to face the back wall so you can see her back and shoulder blades, but you can stay where you are. So if you face the back wall, then I want you to lift both hands all the way up to the ceiling. So I want you to elevate your shoulders up. So what I want you to do is start to feel the shoulder blades lift. So this is, we have our elevation, and then as you exhale, depress them down the back. Good. Inhale, elevate. Exhale, depress. One more time. Inhale, elevate. Pause here, and then keep breathing. Exhale, whatever you need to. And now I want you to draw them down to neutral, and I want you to separate them. So let's call that protraction. Now I want you to create retraction, so they draw shoulder blades together, and then depress them down the back. So this is the action I want you to do. Elevation, depression, elevation, neutral, protraction, retraction together, depression. Good, so make sense of that. Do that one more time. Elevation, depression, elevation, neutral, protraction, spread them out, retraction, depression. Good. And so now we're going to do that in tabletop shape. So come back into a tabletop shape. All right, so on the fingertips, elevation, depression, elevation, neutral, protraction, spread them out, retraction, draw them together, depression down the back. Okay, try that one more time. Elevation, depression, elevation, neutral, protraction, retraction, depression. Good, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. The reason I want you to start to build these actions of awareness in the body, whether it's off the ground, on the ground, with weight, without weight, is so you start to have A, clarity in your scapular movements, and B, ability to use them in motion. So in a downward facing dog, as you should know, or as you might know, is that our shoulder blades are elevating. So we're pushing away from the floor. And then we want to drive the tailbone up. Keep your heels high and your knees soft. Drive the tailbone back. And then inhale yourself to plank. Breathe in. And you should be in protraction. Good. Now find a moment to find retraction here in plank. Should feel relatively miserable. Retract, retract, retract. Good. Protract up and away so you feel the strength. Go back to downward facing dog. So your body starts to need to know where the steadiness can be found in the motion. So here what I'd like you to do is you are in elevation, but I want you to build protraction the moment you start to move. Protract, inhale, come to plank. Exhale, go to dog. And this is oftentimes why you like to roll the spine forward. So you know that rolling action to plank, inhale, roll the spine forward. That's protraction coming into the body. Exhale, take it back. One more time. Inhale, roll the spine forward, so protraction arrives. and then take it back. Good, walk yourself to the top of the mat. I promise we'll move and flow soon, but I just want to put some principles in your practice today. Inhale, take a halfway lift, and then bow forward as you exhale. Take a moment upside down just to dangle. Let the body expand and lengthen. Because it's likely to be one of your first forward folds of the day, and definitely of the practice, generously bend your knees, turn the hips over your thighs, and let the spine come long. What we're really doing is focusing the length where the length can be. Good, inhale, take a halfway lift, and then fold as you exhale, and then sweep yourself to standing. Inhale as the hands rise up, the shoulders elevate and lift, and then bow forward as you exhale, come all the way down. Beautiful, inhale, halfway lift, spine goes long, step back, plank pose. And from plank pose, take a chaturanga all the way to the floor, please, and take a cobra pose. Inhale as the cobra pose, rise the spine, but then come back to the floor. Beautiful, interlace your hands behind your head, please. Head is the one on the top, and then lift your elbows and lift your head. Now with the grip of your hands behind the crease of your neck, literally try to draw the crown of your head forward. Beautiful. As you do that, commit to the bottom half of the body. Press the feet into the floor, keep the knees lifted. Extend out the front, ground through the back. Take a big breath in. Keep the feet, and then put your forehead to the floor, elbows back to the floor. Keep the feet. Start from the feet. Push down. Inhale, elbows and forehead. Exhale, release. Keep the feet the whole time, because now this is the anchor point. Inhale, so you're lifting up and away from the feet and the legs. Exhale, put it back down. One more time, push the feet down. Inhale, let that be the anchor of the lift. Exhale, release your head and your arms, release your hands by your side, tuck your toes, press plank pose, knee up or down, downward facing dog. Good, elevate the shoulders, drive the tailbone away. What we're doing is we're starting to work with the body in a way where the patterns of our effort are intentional. Inhale through plank pose, please. Chaturanga Dandasana, float it now, so don't go all the way to the floor. Upward facing dog, peel yourself up. Push through the feet, please. Downward facing dog. See what that feels like now to put some of these pieces together. Inhale, unroll the spine through a protraction to plank. Chaturanga with strong arms. Cobra pose, start with the feet, push down, lift everything up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And I want you to take a moment and to ask yourself, because my teacher Annie asked me this a long time ago, and for whatever reason I didn't know. When you come from a chaturanga into an upward facing dog, which foot do you flip first? If you don't know, you should. If you do know, do the opposite. So everyone do this. Inhale, roll the plank pose. Take a chaturanga and pause. Now whatever foot you want to flip first, do the other one. Good. Inhale, cobra pose or up dog. Probably up dog, downward facing dog. Now I want you to clock what you did. So whatever foot flips first, I want you to essentially do the opposite in this practice. So I need you to commit to that. Good. Now, notice this. Walk to the top of the mat. Pause. Whatever foot you moved first is the one you do every single time. And for those of you who practice a lot, now walk to the top, you're doing the same patterns of movement the whole time. And it's not wrong, but what it means is you're just doing your unaware movement patterns. And I need you to start to switch it up in this practice. Inhale, halfway lift. Bow forward as you exhale, basic easy sun salutation, rise to the sky, breathe all the way in. And then bow forward as you exhale. Take a halfway lift as you rise the spine and you lengthen out. Hands flat, step back, pause, don't do the side you want to do the opposite side. Chaturanga Dandasana as you lower down, flip the foot that's opposite, not the one you want to flip. Rise to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, breathe out, walk to the top of the mat, not the one you want to walk, the opposite. So essentially your brain now has to think about this stuff that you already know. Inhale, halfway lift. I am going to move you a little bit faster. Bow forward, focus on the opposites. Inhale, be steady through your motions, hands to the sky. Bow forward as you exhale. Take a halfway lift as you lengthen. Step back, chaturanga, opposite leg steps first. Lower to the floor, opposite foot flips first. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, opposite foot flip first if you're doing it in a different pattern. Big breath in, long breath out. Walk yourself to the top of the mat, opposite footsteps first, please. If you can't remember, figure it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Bow forward as you exhale, chair pose Utkatasana, ground and lift. Good, that's symmetrical, so you don't have to think about opposites, but I do need you to keep this principle of thinking of the opposites through your practices, right? So this is the steadiness through the transition, and the steadiness means, can we approach this on purpose, intentionally, fold forward. Take a halfway lift, step back, plank pose, opposite footsteps first. Good, pause in plank pose, feet together. Lift your right leg, three-legged plank. Good, protraction in the back body, hips stay elevated and steady. Now, what I'd like you to do is lead with that lifted right leg, three-legged dog, everything goes up to the sky, hips go back, heels lengthen. Beautiful, take a big breath in, please. Bring this knee to your nose, curl it forward, lift high like cat pose. Good, inhale, send everything up, 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 up. Step to low lunge, right foot down, left knee down. Inhale, hands to the sky. Breathe all the way. Now, just like we did similar at the beginning when we did the first cobra round, interlace your hands behind your head, elbows go wide. Good, now as you do that, almost let your head hang back into your head into your hands a little bit. And then take everything a little bit taller. So essentially now, we're looking at an extension of the upper cervical spine. Take a big breath in here, lift the center of your heart, let the hips melt forward. Good, take a big breath in. Now here's the movement. Exhale, pause, and let's just figure this out first. So your inhale will be in this shape in an opening low lunge. Your exhale, the elbows will come together, the front leg will straighten, move back to half splits as your forehead will curl towards your toes. See that action? Good, come back. Inhale, open the arms, the collarbones, the pelvis slides forward. Exhale, take it back, half splits of the leg, elbows close, nose to toes. Good, make it work for the shape that you've got today. Inhale, open it up. One more time, exhale, close it down. Strong back leg for stability. One more time, inhale, open it up. Then release your hands over your head, three-legged dog. Right leg all the way back up to the sky. Keep the right leg off the ground. Plank pose, three-legged. Chaturanga. Flip the feet. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Left leg to the sky. Breathe all the way in. Knee to nose. Inhale, rise it up. Step to lunge. Right knee goes down. Inhale, hands go up and behind the head. Good. Start by steadying. So what we need is the carriage of the crown to lift, collarbones to open, the heart to open, and the hips to slide themselves forward. Good. Now put the pattern of open and close. Breathe all the way in. Then exhale, half splits, elbows curl, protraction behind you. Good. Inhale and rise. Now do this 3, 4, or 5 times, and don't just focus on the elbows and the nose. I want you to think about what is the back body doing that's protracting. What is the left femur bone doing that's drawing up? Are the toes flexed and engaged? Am I creating steadiness through all of this motion, not just doing the action of where our focus is? One more time, inhale, peel it all the way open. And then meet me in three-legged dog, left leg to the sky as that comes all the way up sky high to the back. And then comes through three-legged plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Good, upward facing dog, rise and open. And then downward facing dog, send it back. Beautiful, take a big breath in. Long breath out, bend your knees, jump top of the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift, please. And then bow forward as you exhale. Chair pose Utkatasana, hands behind your head, please, elbows wide. Same idea that you just did in the lunge, but from a chair pose. So inhale, heart peels open. Exhale, forward fold, elbows towards the nose, nose down towards the toes. Do it again, 3, 4, 5 times. Inhale. Good. Now you know the action. I need you to focus. Where else can you be stable? Can you be more stable in the heels? Can you be more stable as the pelvis draws down in a posterior line as the collarbones open? As you fold, can you protract and round and feel the pelvis turn? Detail matters for those of you that want to practice with full integration. Can you notice how the breath is moving? And when you start to layer in more things to consider, the practice gets far more inward, far more aware, far more intentional. Because these are postures you know. You can do a chair pose, you can do a lunge pose, but can you do it this way today the whole time. One more time, come on back up. And then fold. Beautiful. Take a halfway lift as you release your hands and step back. Chaturanga Dandasana or straight to plank. Good. Oh, jumping is good today. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Everything comes back. Beautiful. Big breath in. Long breath out. Feet together, please. Right leg to the sky. Now bend the knee and roll the hip open. So we have a little bit of space in that hip. And as you do that, as always, and if you're familiar with this action, the right thigh, or the standing leg, drives itself back. The left thigh drives itself back. The standing leg opens itself up, and the right rib cage rolls itself back towards the floor. Good. Now what I'd love you to do is come onto the fingertips of your right hand. So now you're essentially a little bit more anchored in the left side, but you still need to create strength through the body. Good. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Turn this into plank pose, please. Straighten your right leg behind you. Good. Stay on the fingertips of the right hand. Stay on the fingertips of the right hand as you come back to plank. Good. Straighten this right leg. Yes. Come straight back up to three-legged dog. Bend the knee, roll hip open. Now, I didn't clarify it enough. What I want you to do is stay on the fingertips this whole time. Inhale, come forward, turn it into a lopsided plank. Kick that right leg straight back. Good. And then take it back up. Inhale. Bend the knee, open it up. Exhale. Last time, pause here, breathe all the way in. Exhale, take it forward, three-legged wobbly plank. Right foot to the floor, right palm to the floor, downward facing dog. I'm destabilizing you on purpose. I'm creating asymmetry on purpose. I'm asking you to find that steady point in the body that is wobbling. If it helps you feel better today, Kat, who's here, didn't know what she signed up for either. This is what this practice is today. Find the steadiness through the motion. Good. Left leg rises up. Bend the knee, roll the hip open. Good. Now again, start by putting the foundation in the pose. Strong standing leg. Strong active hands. And then come onto the fingertips of the left hand. Good. Bend this knee. Take a big breath in. Wobbly plank, three-legged wobbly plank. Chest comes forward. Stay on the left fingertips. Left leg has to kick back. Good. Your inhale will take you back up. Your exhale will bend the knee and roll over. That should give you a breath. 3 more times. Inhale, smooth it out. Exhale, take it back. Now make it work for you today. Inhale, bring it forward. If you need to modify, modify. Modify means put the left foot down and come back to plank. Good. Kat will show you this just so you can see the option. Inhale, come to plank, but put your left foot back on the ground so you literally have both feet under you. Good. Exhale, take it back. Good. Last one. Inhale, everything goes forward, left foot down, left palm down, downward facing dog. Exhale, get out of there. Big breath in. Long breath out. Feet together, lift your right leg to the sky, please. And then bring this knee across the body to your left elbow or armpit. It's a twist in the body. Inhale, open it up. And then peel it open, three-legged dog one more time. Good, three-legged dog, hip opener. Good, take a big breath in. Right knee to left elbow across the body. Pause now. We're going to turn this into a fallen triangle. So left heel goes into the floor. Right foot steps through. Right hand comes to the sky. Now, this right leg gets kicked out. I want it in the top half of your mat. So slide that right leg forward. Okay? Mm-hmm. If you need to modify the modifications, you come down to the forearm, or you modify where the leg comes back. Good. Take a big breath in. Exhale, three-legged dog. Left hand goes down, right leg squiggles up and around, peels itself open, and you reset. Big breath in. Exhale, fallen triangle, kick it all the way through, make the movement a little bit smoother. Wait for the inhale as you open the chest and reach your arms. Exhale, unwind it. Do it one more time. Now before you do it, slow it down, pause. I want you to smooth it out. Figure out how this transition can have a little bit more steadiness in the movement for you today. Okay, start from a down dog, lift your right leg to the sky. Bend the knee and roll it open. Take a big breath in. Exhale, draw it across the body, kick it through out the left side, spin your left heel down to the floor. Inhale, peel it open. Good. Exhale, release to plank pose, downward facing dog. Big breath in, long breath out. Second side, left leg rises to the sky. Rest as you need. Right? And remember as well, it's a strong practice today. It's strong in the upper body. That's why we did all the protraction stuff at the beginning. And now it's about how do you find the movement to be steady through the wobbliness. Bend that left knee, open the hips, take a full breath in. Take it across the body, follow in triangle. The first time through is just to figure out the movement that you need to make. Spin the right heel down, peel the chest open, flex your front left foot. Flex your front left foot. Then take a big breath in. Right hand to the floor. Sweep that left leg back and open it up. Okay, now you've got 2 more passes at this. I need you to slow it down and smooth it out. Good, don't wait for me. Inhale. Exhale, take it down and back. Peel the knee open, pause. Take a big breath in here. Exhale, curl it down through, take it across towards the elbow, kick it out to the right side, spin the right heel down, inhale, peel the chest open. Exhale to plank, dog. Good, drop your knees down, your forehead down, put your hands by your ankles, closed posture, child's pose. The reason you're in closed posture child's pose is because your shoulders have been doing a lot of work. So we want to close the flexion of the shoulders. We need to turn the shoulders down, a little bit of internal rotation, space on the body. I know that you're working hard because Kat's in the room and she's working hard. And if you're working anywhere between 50 to 100% as hard as she is, then I know that the effort is intentional. And part of what this practice is today is, where's the steadiness in the motion? Because yes, we all know it's effort in a chair pose, effort in a triangle pose, effort in a half moon pose, but can you put the effort in the whole action from the, what we call anatomy, the point of initiation? So it's not here, my hand gets engaged when it gets here, it's the moment I take it off my leg, I'm doing it on purpose. I'm lifting something up as if I mean it, right? This is the intentionality of the practice, right? Beautiful. Downward facing dog, please. That is the breath that you need. That is the breath that you get. Big breath in. Long breath out. Plank pose. Everything comes forward. Feet together, please. Everything goes side plank. Heel spin to the right, please. Or sorry, to the left. Heel spin to the left. And it's intentional to go left. And stack yourself in a way where the body can feel steady. And what we're going to do is, you do need to have your blocks nearby. So actually, I'm going to come back to plank. Put your knees down, grab your blocks, and I want you to set up your blocks in this position. I want the one block here, where your hand would be as if we were going to half moon. You'll figure it out when you get there. But you want a block here, right, for half moon. For ease, put the other block there so that you don't have to mess with it later. It's just there and in place. And if you're wondering how the hell are we going to get there, we'll show you in just a moment. But just get yourself set and ready. All right, downward facing dog. Get yourself back to side plank. Heel spin to the left. Now from this side plank shape, what I want you to focus on is the legs and the hips rather than the top hand. So the top hand today, I want just by your side. Beautiful. Now I want you to step your right foot behind, prep for wild thing, please. Put your hips all the way on the floor, adjust, bend your left arm, wrap your shoulder back down, and just simply take a wild thing. It's just a first pattern find. For today, keep your hand on your side or on your chest, not over the head. And just find that simple shape. Good. Now for the moment, turn this back into plank pose. Go back to dog. I want you to smooth out that pattern. If you're really familiar with wild thing, then you know how to get there, but just since we're here today, we're going to work with it. Inhale back through plank, feet together, heel spin left, side plank. Take a big breath in. Exhale, step behind you, put your hips on the floor, readjust your bottom arm, bend it, wrap it, and then inhale, wild thing, come on up. Good. And the reason I want you to make sure you adjust and know where your left hand is, because we need this in transition. All right, so if you want to watch the first one, you can, or you can play with it as we go. Come up to wild thing, take a full breath in, and then I want you to step to half moon, please. So your right foot's going to step across, and your right hand's going to go to the block, and you rise straight up through half moon. Now you might be saying, this feels like a long way to go, because it is, but what I need you to do is not just achieve the postures, but move through the motion. Take a big breath in, and then simply take a forward fold. Good. Halfway lift. Step back to plank and to dog. If you want to throw yourself a bonus chaturanga, that's on you today. It's not necessary, but you can as always. So now we've got two more passes through that same transition, and I need you to figure out how to smooth that out. So come with me here. Inhale, plank pose. Feet together, spin side plank. Inhale, expand crown to heel. Step behind you, settle on the floor. Inhale, wild thing. Come on up. Exhale, step across the body and forward, prep for half moon. Wait for your inhale. Inhale, half moon, expand. Does that make sense? Exhale, fold. Half moon, plank, downward facing dog. Spoiler alert, on this third time round, plank, downward facing dog. Spoiler alert, on this third time round, you're going to have to get back to the wild thing, get back to the side candy. So we're essentially doing it and then unwinding it. So let's see what happens and how that feels. Inhale, plank pose. Feet together. Exhale, side plank. Inhale, steady and extend. Exhale, wild thing prep. Bend and wrap the back arm. Rise through wild thing. Yep. This time you can put your hand wherever you need to. And then step half moon prep across the body into the top of the mat. Reach for the block. Inhale, half moon. Okay, now I need you to figure this out. Get back to wild thing, please. I'm not going to help you. Let's just see what happens. Put your hips back on the floor. Good. And then you come back up to a half moon. Come back up to a side plank. Plank, down dog. So I need you to, it's like backing the truck up. A lot of you who drive, you know how to go forward all the time, but the moment we ask you to go backwards, everything kind of is in a whole different set of rules. So I need you to do the opposite. You want to try one more time? I'd like to try one more time. Figure it out now. Don't even wait for me. You got a plank and a side plank. See if you can do something nicer with your face and more with your breath. Wild thing breath. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, step. Half moon. Now I need you to get back to wild thing. Can you back up the truck, please? Then you're going to come back up to side plank. And you're going to turn it back into plank and a dog. Now, as you can see, it's not easy to figure out how to go in an opposite direction. And part of your practice, and I don't care if you're practicing for 1 month or 25 years, these patterns are different than what you're used to because it's asking you something different. If you just do the same patterns of your practice over and over and over and over and over again, set sequence this, or worse than set sequencing is familiarity of patterns. You always do a lunge into a warrior two, into a reverse, and then you chaturanga it out. Not wrong, but it's so familiar where your brain doesn't have to think or be engaged, you then aren't in the practice, you're just doing the practice. Okay? Second side, let's see what happens when we gotta do the other side, and then back it up. Well, we'll just do one way first, we'll just go forward. Plank pose, please, come on up. Side plank. Heel spin right, settle yourself out. Big breath in. Wild thing breath. Inhale, wild thing. So now I know that your brain's already thinking because you know you're going to have to back up this truck eventually. And now you just step forward. Use your top hand to help you counterbalance. Good. Inhale, rising up. If you're just observing the class or watching this to kind of get insights, you're literally seeing the inner working of Kat's brain in real time. That's what we're looking to explore. Forward fold out of the first round. Halfway lift, plank, downward facing dog. You can always throw yourself a chaturanga if you want that in there, but we've done most of the ones we need. We just need them for one. Second time, smooth it out and find the breath. Inhale is the breath. Feet together, side plank is the exhale. Inhale, you expand. Maybe your top hand goes up this time and the crown goes long. Exhale, roll yourself to the back for a wild thing. Prep, hips go down. Bend and wrap that back arm. Inhale, wild thing. Here's a trick. Top hand needs to counterbalance the back of the room while you step forward. Good. Half moon as you come up. Open and expand. Don't lose the pose just because you're lost in the movement. Exhale, forward fold. Not lost like you don't know where you're going, but lost like you're just focusing on other bits. Halfway lift, plank dog. Or maybe just lost. Sometimes we lose ourselves in the practice because our attention is elsewhere, or we literally just get lost in the practice and see where it ends up. I would like neither of that today, and I'd like you to be in the steadiness of your motion. All right, last time now, maybe second last time, we're going to back the truck up. So let's get there first. Inhale, plank, feet together, exhale, side plank. Good. Inhale, you expand. Exhale, prep for wild thing, step behind. Inhale, rise, everything comes up, 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 up. Exhale, step, half moon. Wrap it up, inhale, rise. Now I need you to back the truck up. Exhale, think about how you're going to come back to wild thing. Step all the way back. Right foot steps to the back. That other foot's got to go around wild thing. Good. Then you're going to come back up, side plank it, dog it. And what I will say is the second side inevitably will be both smoother than the first side, but it will also feel clumsy because you're doing it backwards or awkward. Bonus round last time through, don't wait for me. I'd like you to just take yourself all the way to the half moon and bring yourself all the way back to the plank. Put yourself in the position of where am I now and where do I need to be? How do I create the space and how do I steady myself in the motion? Think about how we lift when the inhale expands us out. And as you exhale, here's the big movement getting back to that wild thing shape. Bend that knee, step back, roll through the midline as you peel everything over. Break it down in the way that works for you. It doesn't need to be fast. It doesn't need to be flowy. It needs to be steady. Steady is the way. Let's call that the class today. Steady is the way. When you get back to dog, you breathe. When you get back to downward facing dog, I'd like you to walk to the top of the mat. Walk from the opposite leg. I know, that old thing again. When you get to the front, take a halfway lift, and then a fold, and find your space here in the fold. Notice what it feels like if you need to bob the head yes, or shake the head no. If you need to roll the wrist out or roll the shoulders out. What I find a lot of times when I'm in practice with something that has a little bit more detail or nuance is that the physical practice becomes expanded by the level of attention needed on the movements of the practice or the intention of the practice. The movements being these tricky transitions or a different way, and the intention meaning steadiness. All right, so you can call that left brain, right brain, you can call it physical or philosophical, but it's just where's the focus and the attention of my action, and what is the intention or the purpose or the approach of my practice. Okay, stand all the way up, please. Take a moment back on dry land to get yourself a reset. If you need to wiggle, you wiggle. If you need to shake, you shake. If you need to reset and pause, you find that moment that's still. Okay, so I'm going to ask Kat to do this forward just so you can see the shape. So if you face forward this way, and you can stay down your mat, but I want you to do, what I'd like you to do very intentionally is I'd like you, the moment a foot comes off the ground, it's doing something. And so for ease today, I want you to think the moment your foot comes off the ground in these standing postures, I want you to dorsiflex the foot. So I want you to flex it. Even though if you don't need it yet, the moment it comes off the ground, it's flexed. Okay, so let's just keep it super simple to start. Tree pose, please. Left foot down, right foot up. That foot is flexed. The moment it comes off the ground, it's just in action. Okay. And then bring it back down to the floor. Keep it flexed. The moment it comes all the way off the floor, take it down back to the earth. It's flexed, engaged, put it back on the floor. Super easy, super simple for the moment. So let's do that again. Now I'd like to do this with no hands. So now, As you bring this right foot up, flex it, and just wherever it lands. And it's still flexed, so bring that right leg up. And if it's flexed, it means the toes are lifted, the foot is in dorsiflexion, it's engaged, and wherever the body sets up, it sets up. Good, now at the same time, what I'd like you to do here is I'd like you to ground and plug your standing foot into the floor and flex the toes off the floor. So I'd like both feet to have the toes up and flexed and engaged. Good, now plug the big toe, the ball mound, back into the floor. Toes are lifted, but the ball mound is down. Doesn't matter what you do with your hands right now. I just need you to stay afloat. Good, beautiful. Now what I am looking for is the toes engaged the whole time, hands wherever you need to be, and take your right leg out at what feels like a 90 degree. Toes are engaged. Good. Now, toes stay engaged, dorsiflexion stays in action, and extend that leg out to whatever shape feels like an Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana or just a version of an extended right leg. Doesn't really matter where everything else goes because I want what's called the distal end of the foot engaged. Everything will wobble, the quads will fire. Take a big breath in. Bring it back into the tree, no hands, and then take it down to the floor like a Charlie Chaplin foot, so it's out at a 45 degree. Good, beautiful. Now, here's what I'd like you to do, and this will be a little bit unique in your practice. Now, whichever way is forward for you, it's now changed. Forward is wherever your right foot is facing. Does that make sense? So now, as this back foot comes off the ground, flex and engage, and right straight up. So you're probably somewhere around the top corner of your mat. You're facing 45 degrees-ish. For me, don't get lost in the symmetry of your mat. Be in the practice that can add value. Good. Put that left foot back on the floor just so you know how that action works. Bring it back up, flex as soon as it comes off the ground. Put it in a tree pose without your hands. Stand taller and find steady. Good, and then turn that leg into a 90-degree shape. It's engaged the moment it comes off. And then extend it to wherever it goes. Don't need the hands, get your hands out the way. Good. It doesn't need to look picture perfect because it won't, because now you're fighting gravity, you're fighting asymmetry, and you're dealing with quad engagement, wobbly foot. Plug that right ball, big toe into the floor. Good, and then bring it back to the leg. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to step this leg out to what feels like malasana. Good. And then drop the seat malasana. So wherever you are in your practice, theoretically you're back towards the top of your mat. If you're somewhere else, so be it. Live there. Great place to be. Right? In this malasana shape, lift the toes, please. As you lift the toes, what I'd like you to do is see how you can shift the weight so you're slightly forward, so you're even with the feet. Then put the toes down and lift the heels. Now some of you might already have your heels off the floor, which is a great place to practice. And lift your elbows off your knees. So here's the motion. I want you to stay here. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, heels down, or however far they go. And then reach your arms forward, roll the spine forward like you're taking a forward fold, and your tailbone will sink towards the floor. But you need the toes to lift. Good, so your toes are a bit wide. Turn them back in a little bit. Good, so here's the action if you want to look at the screen. Inhale, hands come to chest, heels lift. You bring your seat 20 or 30% of the way up. Exhale, heels come down. Anterior pelvis goes down, protraction, rounding. Now add the hands to where we used to be. Interlace them behind your head. Elbows wide. Inhale, everything comes up and open, heels lift. No, officer, it wasn't me. Exhale, heels down. Oh yes, it might have been me. Elbows in. Toes are flexed though as you come into this forward fold shape. Again, inhale, open. The higher you can go, the more effort will be put in. Exhale, heels down, elbows roll. 3, 4, 5 more times. You got this. Inhale, slow it down, steadiness through the action. It doesn't matter if your heels hit the floor or not. What matters is your weight is shifting. As the heels come down, the toes still lift though. Good. Come on back up. Exhale, fold and roll. This is the last time and it's slightly different. Inhale, open it back up. Lift your heels. Now keep going all the way up to standing. Keep going all the way up to standing. Heels are high, heels are high, heels are high. And then exhale, come back down to your Malasana seat. Heels stay high. This is the second part. Inhale, everything goes up, 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 up. Can you be steady here? Slight back bend, lift your nose. Exhale, come back down into the squat. Now it's going to be wobbly for 99% of you. Inhale, unless you're like a ballerina. Lift your nose, lift your heart, widen your collarbones. Find the edge, and exhale, come back down. One last one. Inhale, come all the way up, 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 and open. Heels are still lifted. Exhale, come back down. Release your hands down to the floor and just rest for a moment. It's probably nice to let the hips have a little bit of space. This can be quite a helpful release. And then just take a forward fold. You can face that down. And just notice again, when the body is stable and when your movements are grounded, the ability to find steadiness is innate, like it's already built in. What happens though is when things get a little wobbly, when the road gets a little slippery, or the trains are a little bit late, where everything comes a little bit less grounded, that's when we actually need most of our steadiness. Right? Because if it's a sunny day, it's dry ground, everything's happening as it's supposed to be, you can be steady. It's easy, you just stand there. It's when everything starts to shift, right? Crow pose, please. Let's put this idea in practice. Crow pose for you is whatever it feels like today. I'm not going to break it down because it's more about the principle in practice. Can you be steady in your transitions? You got blocks if you need them. But the steadiness here isn't being in the pose per se. It's the journey to it, the effort to it. Good. Take a big breath in and either release or jump to low plank. Up dog, and we'll meet you in down dog. If you just release down to your feet, stay in a forward fold. Put 2 more of these to go. Big breath in. Long exhale. Get yourself back to the front. Now pause here, wherever you are. If you're in down dog, if you're going again, start your intentional steadiness now. So plug the hands down. Elevate the shoulders. Walk yourself forward. If you're in the forward fold, push your hands down and be grounded down. Every movement is intentional, not just when you come off the ground. Right? Think about when you go on an airplane, you go for a travel. If you only want to start paying attention when the wheels come off the ground, you kind of hope that the pilot and everyone else has started to put a little bit of intention way before that. You can exit this whenever you want, don't wait for me. And so intentionality starts from the moment you drop your bags off. Think about the airport. When you check in, right, you check in and you drop your bags off. You're checking in and saying, I'm here, I'm ready to go. That's what this practice is as a whole, not just this posture. One more time if you want, or just stay in a fold and rest. The moment you check in, and then I'm checking in for class, I'm here for practice, everything is now focused on the steadiness of the experience, steadiness of your intention. Wherever you are, if you're jumping back, wonderful, but we're going to meet at a forward fold at the top of our mat. Big breath in. Long breath out. We're almost there. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Come low in your chair, lift your heels. Sit your seat all the way back to your heels. Reach your arms forward and not up. Good. Take a big breath in and stay here for a moment. And I want you to think about, again, this whole principle in action, steadiness through motion. I'd like you to put your boat in the water as if it is steady and calm. So I want the boat to float rather than the boat to sink. So think about how you need to get from here to a boat pose. If you want to take your blocks with you, or if you want to slow your roll, but I want you to find your way into Navasana in a way where the boat is afloat. Good. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. Inhale, low boat, and extend it out. One more time. Inhale, high boat, and a low boat. Inhale, high boat, and stay. Put your feet on the ground, but stay in boat. Put your hands behind your head in the same carriage you've been doing all day. Interlace your fingers, open your elbows wide. Okay, here's a slightly different version of this. Inhale, boat pose, lift your heart, open your elbows. Exhale, feet down, nose to toes, elbows in. Inhale, open it up, somewhere between high boat or low boat, your choice or your misery. Oh. Exhale, gotta come back up, fold it down. Cat regrets that choice. 3, 4, 5 more times. Inhale, open the collarbone, open the chest, open the elbows. Exhale, feet down, elbows down, roll spine, top, cervical release. 2 more on your own. Breathe all the way in. Stay afloat in the boat, stay open in the body, then exhale. Last one, breathe in and open. Exhale and close, and then release and roll to your back. It's probably nice to either draw your knees in or extend them out, depending on how the core feels or how the effort landed. And what I want you to notice now is what this space feels like for you as you settle. Where does the body need a release? And it's likely, perhaps, if you're anything like me, a bridge pose is going to feel nice. So a rolling bridge, lift the hips, hands over your head. And just do that a few times to almost what I call like put yourself back together. To reset the table. To put your socks back on. Not sure about that last one. Whatever all the rest of it means. But you're giving yourself the space to kind of reset and resettle. Big breath in. A long breath out. As you stand on the floor, I want to give you a few options to close. If you remember, the option at the beginning was a child's pose, knees together, knees open. And in a similar fashion than that today, I want to give you that closing option with your legs. So you can either go Supta Baddha Konasana, knees wide, or you can keep your knees bent in a constructed rest, or even knees to your chest in a closed position. So essentially it's an upside down child's pose, a variation. And if it feels nicer for you, you've got 2 variations to your hands, down by your sides or over your head, and you choose. Part of what I want you to do and explore through these practices with me is understand that you always have choice, and there's always a moment of how. Like, how do I want to practice this? In yoga, we find a lot of, this is what we do, and this is why we do it. Like, we do a child's pose because it's closed and it's calming. We do a crow pose because it's challenging and it's supportive and it's engaging. But the thing that I find often missed a lot of times in the modern practice is the how. There's 2 ways. There's the teacher that say, how would I like you to do this today to be in line with the intention or the focus or the philosophy of practice? And then as the practitioner, it's that, how do I want to practice this? How can I find the permission or the space to do what I need? Being at rest is unique to you. I don't come to your house at night. Wait. So I don't know how you rest in your bed. Don't know the shape that you make or the way in which you spread yourself out. That's the most comfortable for you. Rest is unique. Practice is unique. Postures they're like blocks. They are what they are. How you practice it, how you shorten it or lengthen it, how you adjust it or modify it, that is how you choose to practice or how the teacher chooses to offer it. And in doing so, it creates a lot of not just color or creativity or intelligence, it creates depth of practice. It creates depth of experience. As a human being, you can go through the day in any number of ways, but all the actions that you do can each individually be done different ways as well. You know the old saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that in its own right is a unique thing to remember. And so in this moment, as we start to close the practice, stillness is you find the shape that works for you. The how is important. And the steadiness through the action or the motion is you walking along the path of how do I want my practice to be. As always, if you're in your own space, you're in a place where you can stay longer, you're welcome to stay at rest. If you would like to close practice with us here today, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes and find your way back into a place where you can draw the knees in and roll off to one side or the other. And in doing so, you'll just pull yourself up into a final seat. A place in which the practice has its moment to seal itself in. The intention comes full circle. The steadiness becomes priority in a moment to close. And so in this practice as is, we find our own points of connection, of appreciation. If you'd like, you can bring your hands together at the center of your heart space, and we'll close with one breath and one Om today. Full breath in. Clearing exhale. Inhale. We honor the space of practice for all that it is. And today, and all days, we practice the way, whichever way allows us to practice with purpose. And if you'd like, together we say, Namaste. Big thank you for practicing with us today. Thank you for Kat for being here. Thank you all, and we'll see you again soon.